All right, listen, we're going to jump right into this thing. Thank you for joining us on Super Real Estate Sunday. Hey, give yourself a hand. So, as promised, I'm going to give some tips for buyers and for sellers. Buyers and sellers, because you see, everybody can benefit from these tips. And as we get started, I'm going to go ahead and add the live stream to this because there are a lot of people who are interested and getting involved in some of these tips. Let me tell you, it is your market, whether you're a buyer or a seller. This is your season. And I know you guys hear that a lot, but I want you to understand that there are a culmination of things that are happening right now that are going to benefit you. So I invite you to get involved. Get involved today. Okay? So as we go live on Facebook, we're going to go ahead and open up some of these questions that we had to come in. And that's what we're doing. We're answering questions from individuals who have presented some concerns that they have. And I'm going to start with the questions that have to do with land. And I'm starting with those because I'm a land professional. So I got a lot of people that are asking questions regarding land. They want to get involved in land ownership, but then we've got a lot of sellers who have owned family land for years, and they're wanting to know specifically how they can maintain their ownership. I'm sorry, how they can, yeah, maintain their ownership in their family land and sell with full integrity. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about. I've had some owners to reach out to me to say that they've really been challenged by other people looking to assume title to their property. They've had some people that have been encroaching on their land, literally squatting on their land. The owners no longer live here. It's family land. They no longer live here in the state. And so they're wondering how they can protect their vested interests. Well, here's one way that you can do that. You want to check with your county revenue commission often. You want to check with them often to make sure that nobody else is trying to pay your taxes for you. Then you want to pay your taxes swiftly. So I wouldn't even wait for the tax bill. I had a customer to call me recently. She's a seller. She owns some land here in Lower Alabama. And her thought was, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to reach out to them, find out when this thing is becoming due, and I'm going to get my amount, and then I am going to go ahead and pay those taxes. I'm not waiting for them to mail that tax notification to me. That's not going to work. And I applauded her aggression or her enthusiasm because she initiated what was necessary to make sure that nobody else was purchasing her property through a tax certificate by allowing the taxes to be delinquent and then them paying the taxes. None of that. She literally was going to initiate making sure that the taxes were paid. And I'm going to say to you, you may think that it's okay to, be a little late in paying your taxes, but I'm telling you, people are out here aggressively trying to figure out how they can assume ownership to people's property, in the simplest form. Okay. So I need you to know you need to get on your game and make sure that your family's property taxes are paid. Again, I want to welcome you to Super Real Estate Sundays. And what we're talking about today is a way for sellers to protect their land. But we're not just going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about land opportunities for new purchasers, for people who are interested in getting involved in purchasing real estate. I want to talk to you about a listing that I have, 10 acres of land down in Lower Alabama, down in Utah, Alabama, some beautiful land in Utah, Alabama. Oh, it's 10 acres of land. It's beautiful. You're going to see me post it here on Facebook. But if you just go to nationalland.com and look up Jacqueline Battle, you'll see that listing there. Let me tell you, it is beautiful, gorgeous. It's secluded. It's timberland. It's right there on a very fertile creek. It's creek side. So you come up to the banks of the from the banks of the creek onto this land. It is gorgeous. You've got to see it. So go to nationalland.com, look up Jacqueline Battle, and you'll see this land listed. I got to tell you, I got another surprise coming. It's in Elmore, Alabama, Elmore County, Alabama, specifically in Wetumpka. This is coming soon. It's another 10 plus acres, and it is on beautiful land as well. And there's water access on this land. So you want to take a look at these properties, nationalland.com. Then I've got a house that's listed for sale. And this home is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's 3203 Deerfield Drive in Huntsville, Alabama. Deerfield Road, Huntsville, Alabama. The seller is doing everything they can to make sure that they beautify this property. They have gone in and redid all of the floors. It wasn't even necessary, and they made sure that the support was there in the floors, but they want to offer you a wonderful product so that you don't have to go in and then start dealing with unseen maintenance issues in the property. So they're redoing pretty much everything on the inside of the property. It's a beautiful piece of property. It's going to be selling for 200. It's on the market now for $250,000. If you're interested in purchasing the property before the seller finishes, before all the competition comes, all the offers come, then what you can do is go ahead and get with me, and I will let you know how you can well, actually I'll show you the property, or your agent, or give your agent access to the property, and then let you know that the seller is willing to give you an allowance for whatever's not finished, because pretty much everything is finished, but he put that brand new flooring down on the floors. Beautiful, nice flooring. And he made them make sure that the support of the floors, because some of those properties you look at, the floors are not supported. Well, he didn't want that for his property. So he made sure that the floor joists and all of the support structure for the floor was sound. Now he's putting in brand new flooring. And so if you want to buy it before he gets the interior painted, he'll provide a paint allowance for you so you can go ahead and get this property. Another listing that I have is in Gaston, Alabama, and this is an investor's gold mine. Let me tell you why. It's 1,800 plus square feet. It's a split level home, beautiful home. It is 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. It used to be 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths, but they opened up one of the bedrooms to extend into making it one big bedroom. And so instead of being 4 bedrooms, it's now 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and it's got a separate office space, a separate living room, a separate den area. This house is the bomb. Do you hear me? And so I call it an investor's dream because it only requires a few repairs. I think initially the house had been unattended for years, but now he's had it cleaned up. He's had repairs made. It is a nice piece of property for you to go out and take a look at. He's also willing to make allowances for anything that you see in the property that you feel as though should be taken care of. Take a look at it. 910 Edgewood Road in Gaston, Alabama. Okay, so I've gotten those housekeeping things out of the way. Go to nationalland.com. Check them out. These are some awesome properties. That one that's on Deerfield will make an excellent home to purchase. Now, what we want to do here quickly is we want to do 4 things. For those who are homeowners or landowners and you're interested in selling your property and you want to know the best way to go about doing that, a way that is not going to create so many hassles for you, but at the same time, you get to sell your property, sell a quality product, and your clients or your purchaser will feel as though they've gotten a quality product because you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into these properties. So you want to make sure that these properties, your property that you're selling, it sort of exemplifies what you've put into the property. And I respect that. Now, here's the thing. I want to make sure that you know some tips that will be good for you as a seller. I'm going to start with land first. And I want to say this to you. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a message from somebody who is trying to see the live. I think they thought we were going to do it as a Zoom. I need to let them know I'm just doing it as a live on Facebook. Let me make sure. Let's see. Mm, let's see. Okay. I think that's everything. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So I just let them know that we're on Facebook Live. I apologize for that. They were thinking that we were gonna do the Zoom, and so they were looking for the link. I want to educate, and and once you get educated, you'll be empowered to do a variation of things. Because you'll have more latitude. I want to help guide you through and support you as you go through. So one of the first things that I had a seller to ask me recently, they're going to be listing a piece of land with me. Um, it's over 10 acres of land, and they feel as though there may be some mineral rights. They know there are water rights to someone because there's water that runs right through their property. It'd be excellent piece of property for hunting, for agriculture. But here's the question that they had. How do we know? Well, here's one way that we can help you with that. You see, there's a thing called title search or an abstract. I would suggest if you want to get an abstract done, that you reach out to Public Research Inc. You can look that up. You can Google that. Public Research Inc. You can also look up PRI. Just Google it. Public Research Inc. in Huntsville, Alabama. Also, you can check out Passport Title LLC. They're in Birmingham, Alabama. And also America's Title. America's Title. Those are three companies that I work for as a licensed title agent. Okay. My job as a licensed title agent or title examiner is to go in and to research the title to see if there are any mineral rights. Yeah, we do like a 60-year search, a history to see if there are any mineral rights or see if there are any water rights. A lot of times that information is public record. So we can help you with that so that you'll know. Another couple that I listed a piece of property with, that Utah property that I was just talking about, they were concerned because of easement issues. They didn't have road access to their property, and so they were concerned about how that would work. Okay. So they didn't know if there was an easement that was made available to them over the years because it's family property. Okay. It's heir property. It's been passed down through the years. It's exchanged hands. And they didn't know. They haven't seen the property in recent decades. Here's the thing. They hired me. Not only did they engage me as their listing agent, but they hired me as their title examiner. And I went in and did an abstract on the property 60 years back, and I saw where there was an easement, and that easement continued. So there is a way for there to be access to the property, entrance and exiting of the property. See, these are questions that sellers have when you own land. They're serious questions, but we're here to answer them. Why? Because we want to educate, we want to empower, we want to guide, we want to support. Now, purchasers, you're interested in purchasing property. I just talked to somebody interested in purchasing property, but here's the problem. Here was the problem. They didn't have their closing costs. We showed them how to purchase the property and to get down payment assistance. And incidentally, there's down payment assistance that's available to you. So I want to tell you right now, reach out to me so that we can help you with that down payment assistance. You want to jump on that right away, because that doesn't last very long. And what they like for you to do is get educated first. So they start these classes because they know the funds are going to, access to the funds are going to be coming soon. You want to go ahead, reach out to me so we can get you involved in those classes that provide you a wealth of knowledge. And what they're doing is teaching you not just to be able to buy the home, but to sustain the home, to maintain the home, to keep the home so that you can pass it down through legacies. It's not as simple as it sounds. So they give you sound information and education as to how to go about doing that. So if you're interested in the DPA programs, reach out to me. There are a multitude of ways that you can still purchase real estate with down payment assistance. Also, if you've got a lower credit rating, but you still want to purchase property, trust me, there's a way to do it, and it's not predatory lending. You want to reach out to me. I've got some clients working with some folks right now, and they're able to help them with those lower rates. And I want to do a shout out to Global Touch Mortgage. I feel like they're the best mortgage company around. Hello. So I want you to reach out to them and their loan officers. They're right here in Huntsville, Alabama, but they also cover a multitude of other states. Global Touch Mortgage, reach out to them. So as we go back to talking about buyers, If you are having a problem with understanding how you're going to come up with your closing costs, now remember, closing costs and down payment, two different things. The down payment is the difference between the amount that the lender is loaning you versus the seller's sales price. Okay. So if the lender is only going to loan you 90% of the seller's sales price, that's a 10% down payment. If the lender is going to loan you up to 97% of the sell, sometimes FHA will do that, up of the seller's sales price. And that's 3% down payment that you will still need. Okay. And whether you're able to get the down payment assistance or not, you're responsible for that 3% down payment. But in addition to that, there's closing costs that involves the loan that you're getting. It involves the recording of the mortgage and the recording of the deed that's being transferred to you. That's all your closing costs. Sometimes the seller will pay for the transfer of the deed to you. The seller will pay for their portion of the property taxes, but then you have to pay for the property taxes for the duration of the year. And then you've got to have what's called an escrow account. Unless you're paying for the property cash, there's an escrow account that's going to pay for your property taxes and your hazard insurance along the way. So they have to build up a certain amount up front so that as you maintain your monthly payments that include the taxes and insurance, you'll build up that escrow account to such an amount that you're able to pay the taxes and the insurance. Now, your lender or the servicer is going to do that for you, but they do that by collecting a certain amount upfront to put it to start the deposit in your escrow account. And then each month you make your monthly payment and you add to that amount that they've already deducted, and you add to that amount and build up the total amount that's going to be necessary to pay for the property taxes and the hazard insurance at the end of the year. Okay. Then you've also got to pay for your hazard insurance for the entire year. That all of this is paid at closing and it's a part of your closing costs. There's an origination fee for the mortgage company that's helped to originate that loan for you, and possibly some points involved if you decide that you want to buy down your interest rate to a lower rate to make your payments comparable to your or conducive to your budget. What I'm saying to you is there's closing costs, and most of that closing costs involves your loan and involves you setting up to purchase the property. So if you're having problems paying the closing costs, here's a tip. If you're having problems paying the closing costs, here's a tip. You would be wise, yes, to add the price of your closing costs, because your loan officer will give you what's called a closing disclosure. In that closing disclosure, and sometimes they'll give you estimated closing costs documentation, or your agent will. And what that will show you is the estimated amount that you need for closing costs. So let's say you want to offer, or the sales price is $350,000. Excuse me, 300, yeah, and $50,000 for the sales price. Okay, and your closing cost is $10,000. Offer them $360,000 instead of 350,000. Offer them $360,000, and then within your offer, ask the seller to pay your closing costs up to the maximum amount that the lender will allow. That will help you with your closing costs. Some entities will allow up to 6%. Some will allow all of the closing costs if it fits within their parameters. And then you've resolved your issue. You've not asked the seller to suffer a loss so that you can credit a gain. But what you've done is you've made it win-win for everyone involved. Yeah. You're not losing anything. They're not losing anything. It's not going to make a huge difference in your monthly payment for sure, because it's only $10,000 and it's going to be amortized over the length of the loan, whatever term that you set up, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's going to be amortized over that period of time. So it's not going to increase your payment by an exceptional amount. And at the same time, the appraised value will most likely be able to accommodate it. If the property is within the price range of its value, then that amount will not, if the property is already worth $350,000 and you add 10,000 to it, it's probably not going to take it outside of the valuation of the final appraisal. Does that make sense? I'm not the appraiser, but I'm saying to you, it is an opportunity for you. There's language in there that states that if the property doesn't appraise for the amount that you have offered, then it gives you an opportunity to renegotiate with the seller or to be redeemed from that contract. Okay. So this way you can at least create an environment for yourself, affording yourself the opportunity to be able to make that purchase, even though you don't have the funds to pay for your closing costs. So I just want to make sure that we're covering those things because these things are vitally important. And I know in some cases people don't think about these things, but I've had successful opportunities over decades to sell real estate, to flip real estate, to buy real estate, to help others attain real estate, commercial and residential, land as well. Right now, I'm a land professional with National Land Realty. I love this company. I love what they offer. I love what they stand for. They're always making opportunities for sellers and as well as making opportunities for purchasers. They've got a set of lenders that specialize in financing land. You want to avail yourself to the opportunity to purchase land because now is the time to do it. If you're going to purchase any ground at all, you want to do it right now because this is the environment for it. It's been made available. It's practically being set in your lap. And who knows when this type of environment will exist again. So as I get ready to close out with this week's tips, Super Real Estate Sunday, I want to make sure that you understand what we just talked about. We just helped you with information as to how purchasers can avail themselves to a way to have assistance to make their down payment. Okay. We also talk to sellers about how we can help them resolve issues concerning easement rights that they may be concerned about or have questions about, whether or not there are mineral rights on their land or whether or not there are water rights that are available and how they can go about finding out that's not very costly. We talked about all of those things. Listen, the recording will be on social media for a short period of time. Reach out to it, or you can go to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel and my Instagram, you'll be able to see these videos. They're there. Now, I know I have an older YouTube channel. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about I believe it's at Jacqueline Battle. And so if you do at Jacqueline Battle, I think you'll be able to come up with my most current YouTube channel where it's got over 700 videos there. If you go to a YouTube channel with my name on it and it's only got a few videos, that's not my YouTube channel because I've got over 700 videos or more, maybe 900. So reach out to all of the information that's there. And of course, if you need to reach me, just go to nationalland.com, and you'll find Jacqueline Battle. You can also go to JacquelineIncEnterprise.com, JacquelineIncEnterprise.com. And there you'll find the queen of the Super Real Estate Sundays. Listen, if you don't have any other further questions, then I don't see anything in the chat that would indicate that anybody had any questions. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. If I missed your question, you know how to find me. Nationalland.com, Jacqueline Battle. Call me today.